we were interested in music, and we, especially me and Anders and Håvard had older brothers that was pretty interesting in music, and also had some punk and post-punk records. So we listened to. We met Anders, Håvard, I and Arne. We grew up in the same street, and I met Frode on the school.
Yes, yeah. Actually, I think our greatest strength is that we aren't musicians.
So we have a different approach to make music, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. If we was schooled musicians, I think we have sounded different, very different. Maybe better, but definitely different.
Well, I've been a big fan of Rolling Stones since the middle of the 70s, and it's no doubt that Joy Division New Order has always been a big influence for our music and what I'm hearing. So yes.
My biggest influences is this guy, and of course all the post-punk band from the early 80s, but also younger bands like Fountains DC, for instance.
Proto-Martyr.
Yeah, so it's a lot of good music
And
out there.
Shame is really good.
Yeah. Our favorite performance, that must be the gig at the Zarathustra in Molde.
Yes, I think it was back in 2003 or something. I was really sweat and threw some beers over my head, and it became pretty slippery on stage, and I was really afraid of that should be some electroshock or something.
But the dance moves improved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the process of making music before COVID-19 was to gather everyone from London and Trondheim and Oslo and get to rehearsal studio and record and then fix it in our music programs when we got home. Now, when COVID-19 started, we found out we can't stop making music, we can't stop playing, so we kind of set up a nice system for ourselves with collaborative making music over the net, and sometimes we met to just record some extra acoustic sounds. So we released 3 singles in that mode.
Well, I'm listening to lots of other music, and I also collecting records. So that's my main thing, really. You, Trond?
I like also listening to other kinds of music and get inspired. Otherwise, I'm inspired by nature, for instance, through surfing, when I can do that.
News, politics, books, music. Yeah.
Film?
Which one?
Jim Jarmusch's film, Dawn by Law, maybe. Yeah. Well, Don Letts and Anton Corbijn, because because they were the people that was the first hand saw this movement, post-punk movement, and can maybe tell lots of stories about what happened. And Anton Gorbein directed a control film of Joy Division. So that's it. Yeah.
I like to meet Charlie Chaplin because I love to see him in color.
Well, I'm not so nervous before the concert. Well, it's first when I come up to stage and the first minute of the first song that maybe I'm a little bit nervous, but after that it's not a problem.
As a drummer, the problem is sweaty hands. So what I do, I take my drumsticks and I take off some of the materials so I will grip better when I play the drums. From the last year where the pandemic has been very present in our minds, I think we've experienced that we are part of a bigger nature and part of a bigger we than just ourselves, and I think that's been influencing me and my thinking a bit. When it comes to working, we have gone much more digital. We have been working cross borders with the internet as the main communication lines and sometimes meeting.
Mm.
With the music industry, I would change, if I could, the part with mobility. I would try to have better systems for independent bands and artists to get out in the world and live off their music and be able to market their music to a bigger crowd. What I love about music is that initiative and innovation and creativity that belongs to the young kids and to the people who just want to play music, and I think it should get out there.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's a lot of problems in the industry, and there are no easy solutions. But maybe in the future we can find some solutions. You can find some solutions. You're a solution seeker.
You're working with music.
Well, post-punk is, you can say that post-punk is all about pushing boundaries. So we don't know where we are heading in the future, but a part of the fun is pushing boundaries, at least our boundaries. So,
and create new songs, and that's our way to trying to push boundaries, really.
maybe buy some new equipment that can make new sounds.
I think what inspires and keeps us going as artists is the way we work together, because it's fantastically nice process, and it's fun to do it, but also the experiencing that we are doing new stuff together, the joy of playing music and performing and playing for other people is important, I think.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's only one answer to that, and that is playing a gig in Singapore, isn't it?
Yeah.
the most fulfilling part for, at least for me, is creating songs together with the rest of the band. That process is really a kind of a nutshell of democracy, because everyone needs to be a part of the process and feel that they own the result, the song.
Mm.
And the least fulfilling part is just this, we can say that, is doing interviews.
Okay, me first. All right. Big fjords, yeah, high mountains, and the nature, and the Nordic mystic. Maybe we can say something about that.
Cold winters,
Cold winters,
freezing toes,
and
long dark nights.
and long dark nights.
That's post-punk.
Yes, that's
For collaborating with other cultures and artists in other parts of the world, we are doing a bit of remixing and hoping to get new takes on our music from remixers. So we have a collaboration with English remixers now, and we think South Africans that we talk to, that would be a great contribution. If anyone has seen Spoke Matambo, what he does on the Joy Division Control song is great, and the people we know work with Skubu and Boom and Amapiano, so maybe we will get one of those remixes sometime.
okay. We are good at have a professional hiatus. The first one was, I think it was 7 years, and we have some minor hiatus after that, 2 or 3 years or something.
Yeah. And advice for younger artists?
I would say that going into music is something you do with your soul and your heart, and being true to that is really important. So you don't do things for the industry or for selling more necessarily, but that you do something that you love doing. It's really important, and that you also use a great deal of discipline, so you work it all the way through, the famous last 20%.
Yeah. Don't forget to have fun, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that is what you will be, that's pushing you forward and finding the solution for the mistakes, so they don't do the same mistakes more than 10, 12 times. That's normal, I guess.
See you soon, Singapore.
See you soon.
See you soon.